Okie doke. We are back. This is now post-operative care. We're now past doctor's clearance. So it's me. I'm going to just change the camera angle to bring in Claudia so she can just fill you in and what the doctor said, and then I'm going to go ahead with her lesson. One of the things I want to work on her lesson today, though, is again, she's looking for bigger things. I haven't seen her since she's been to the doctor's. That was on Thursday, but it's Tuesday now. But surgery was 2 weeks ago yesterday. Up until now, she had the bandage on, right? Which was fine because she had surgery marks. So I want to still work on her again in detail around this because I haven't worked on all of the knee without a bandage on. So that will be my first priority on the lesson. And then we're going to go into again where I want her to start working out here as well as getting lessons. So that being said, here's Claudia.
Hello.
Hold on. This is where I need a crew, guys. But
Yeah.
if it goes up too high, oh, I know what's wrong. All right. Okay, there we go.
So the doctor couldn't believe how well I'm doing, how much my leg or my knee is moving, and he couldn't believe that it didn't really look like I was having surgery. He said that usually people are more like stiff, or the knee or the leg, the whole leg is more swollen. Mine, it looked really normal, really, like I say, he said, like, it doesn't even look like you just had a surgery. And he couldn't believe that I wasn't really using the walker. He said that usually people would use the walker for like 2, 3, 4 weeks sometimes. He said I'm doing awesome, and thanks to Michelle and movement lesson, I am very excited and happy that before and after, Michelle worked on me, and I'm making progress. And
She's back to work tomorrow.
Yeah.
So yeah, she had knee surgery, and she's back to work tomorrow, giving lessons. So right now, yeah, it's. I know we're all known for the work more so people think we just do babies sometimes, but the babies are important because, I'm sorry guys, if you don't know what a milestone is, which nobody seems to in many ways, and it doesn't matter if I'm working on her milestones or myself or a child's milestone, if you don't know what a milestone is, then you don't know what a deviation is, and you certainly don't know if it's delayed or if it's global risks for full-time care. And so that's what I'm trying to establish is where do the movements come from. And also, too, we can't necessarily do adult-based movements on children, but we certainly could do child-based movements on adults. And that's what I have to start out with here. But also the fact, too, is like, I mean, if I was in Mexico or wherever she was, she had her surgery, she happened to have her surgery in Mexico, but if I was there, I could have worked on her literally like that hour within surgery. Where that's the biggest problem is that nobody's there reconnecting the body's tissues, the movements. The movement goes through the tissues, it goes through the blood, it's not just movements that you see someone playing basketball. And so the lack of swelling, the lack of atrophy, the lack of needing external assistance for her movements, she knew very quickly that she had a leg to stand on again, even though she was post-operative care. Now, I still couldn't do much because, again, we have to wait for the stitches to heal and all of that kind of thing. There's more things that go into surgery. It's not that you have surgery today and tomorrow you're back to square one because, again, you have to heal. But just because you have to heal doesn't mean you can't bring in movements that are necessary, movements that we do, again, for your babies, but also for healing. So that being said, yeah, I was just about to do that, cut my head off too. So you can see one of her or 2 of her marks in here where they went in to repair the knee. It was laparoscopic. There's one over here. But this is the first time that I'm working without the Band-Aid. The bandage, her knee was wrapped. And so that's where I want to go into. I want to go into her leverage point. She goes to about here as far as that's concerned. So I need to start setting up the skin again. The skin is important because it brings back all of her tonus. to a complete status, and also all of our reflexes back to a complete status. If you don't have the proper tonus, you're not going to have the proper reflexes in anything. So, you know, and again, reflexive movements are there to be responsive to the system, and we'll go from there. So again, it's all being recorded for the course, but you can certainly feel free to ask questions or know about your post-operative care. You can work on yourself, or you can have someone work with you, but if you're waiting for muscle-based program, again, your system's not going to be responsive to that. I keep saying it over and over. Look at Claudia's stuff. Now go on Netflix and look at Aaron Rodgers with his ACL recovery. Night and day difference, you know. And it's a shame. It's, you know, worth all that money and they're not getting the proper care. But people just don't know to do these things because they think because it's alternative sometimes that it means that it's not available to the mainstream because it's not efficient. But it's really, this has got to be I think the most efficient way it needs to go. I had to get efficient. People think that my son got sick and I discovered this work, right? It took a long time to find me. I didn't have time to waste. I had to become efficient. And I really also think, you know, a weird note, claim to fame, but I had a really violent father. And if I didn't get the answer right, because he wasn't like I broke a vase and got in trouble. It was because just whatever mood he was in. So I always had to have a plan B, plan C. It was just self-preserving. The old saying goes, dodge the bullet. And that's just the way my brain works. But, you know, now seeing my son graduating from college in a couple of months, it's just, again, what I had to do, because I didn't have time to waste. I started working on him probably when he was about 4.5, 5, because I thought everybody else was taking care of him. And I realized that wasn't the case. So I needed to do what I had to do to make him okay. And the same thing, that's how I met Claudia, you know. I still remember her calling me up saying, what time am I coming tomorrow? I'm like, who is this? You know, and so, but, you know, Aaron showed progress that day of lesson. Now, it wasn't night and day, but it's still, progress is progress, and Claudia and I both knew if you're making little progress, that those little progresses add up. Mm-hmm. You know, the old saying goes, do you want a grain of sand every day compounded? Well, that's what movement is, you know, and that's what you have to go after. So again, if you have any questions, let me know, but your post-operative care and your recovery can start the second you come out of surgery. I lost my colon, and again, he told me 3 to 5 months. I was fully recovered in 3 weeks, except for weight restrictions. So when I came out of surgery, I was doing something with my abdomen. I swear to God, I think these guys thought I was having a seizure, not to make fun of seizures, but they were like, are you okay? And I'm like, leave me alone. Because I knew I just had to reconnect everything first from the inside out. And again, these experiences of working with movement from the inside out really are apparent post-operative care. Thanks.